Unfortunately, Dr. Precious won't be joining us physically this morning, but is here on telephone. Good morning, Dr. Precious. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Good morning, Tommy Singh, and good morning to our beloved viewers. How are you doing?
Always a pleasure having you. I am very well, thank you. I was just talking about road accidents in Lagos, and it looks as if the statistics are getting better. But if I ask you that question, road accidents in your area and the state of the roads in your area, would you say that things are getting better there?
In terms of road accidents, I would say things are getting better. But when you're talking about the state of the road, then I'll
Itself?
tell you it's a cacophony on itself.
I
It's a
like that word.
cacophony.
I like that word. I like that word. What
It's
are
a
we talking
cacophony.
about today? How to overcome depression. Coincidentally,
Depression.
I wrote an article yesterday and I was asking, a friend of mine was talking about heartbreak and depression. And when I looked at it, I found out that heartbreak is very, in the past, I wouldn't understand it. But when she spoke to me yesterday, I had to put up an article. It looks as if there are so many factors that can cause people to go into depression easily, especially in today's Nigeria. How do they overcome it, especially when they find themselves there?
Interesting, Tommy Singh. Now, I just want people to understand that when you hear the word mental disorder, it's not all about people who are mad or people who are on the street or having a syndrome that has kept them going from one market to another, acting all weird and naked. No, it's far from it. When you are depressed, it's a sign of a mental health disorder, but this is characterized with a depressive mood, a mood of inactivity, lack of interest, or loss of interest in activities. When you get to that point, it shows that you are depressed. And you see, there are factors that can lead to depression: biological factors, psychological factors, social factors can increase depression. And that's why we always encourage people that regardless of what you are going through, please make sure you eat.
Food.
Interesting. Yes.
Food.
It doesn't matter what you may be going through. Just make sure you eat something.
Wow.
Because that's the first step to fighting depression, to walking out of depression. Because let me be honest with you, people get into depressive mood for different reasons. Some it could be stress related, some it could be due to life's failure, some for stagnation, some relationship, which is like the capital point of depression. Relationships, lack of finance, marital instability. But you see, the capital cause of depression that I have seen thus far, that is the major on so many people's destiny, is emotional relationships aspect. And the best way to walk out of these things, I'll just take a cap on them one after the other. Number one is learn to talk to somebody.
Learn to talk. Learn to
talk to somebody. Don't forget, I gave a point at the beginning. I said, no matter what you're going through, make sure you eat something.
Put food in your stomach.
Yes. Once you have food in your stomach, it means you're alive. And once you're alive, there is hope. Yorubas will say,
Oloro.
There's nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new under the sun. It could happen to anybody. As a matter of fact, somebody has gone through it before.
Very true. And as we're speaking right now, there are a couple thousands of people under the sound of our voice who are currently depressed. And they feel, the first thing depression tells you is, when you are depressed, stay on your own. Isolate yourself. But that's the quickest way to your grave. Don't talk to somebody. Number 3, get therapy. Get help. Go for counseling. Let the right people infuse the right words in you. You see, words are like fuel. Without fuel, the car cannot move. In the same vein, the right counsel is like fuel. Without the right counsel, your destiny cannot advance. Number 4, find hope in the future. This is practical. Yes, in the future. I usually tell people, no matter how stressed you are, close your eyes for some minutes and tell yourself about how beautiful your future is going to be, and borrow joy from that future. Don't learn to borrow joy from your glorious future. But first of all, you have to believe in the future.
So,
because if you don't believe in it, you can't assess it.
So basically, you're saying that if I believe that my future is going to be bright, I will have hope in my today.
Yes.
So I can be joyful because I know that my future is going to be bright. So I borrow the joy from the future into the present.
Very true. Very true. Very true. And that will help you a long way to dealing with depression. And then don't forget this. Stay around the right people. During your time of depression, it's not the time to drink alcohol. It's not the time to douse yourself with cigarettes and all the kinds of smokes that you take. See, it will give you temporary alleviation. At the point where you're drinking and smoking, you forget about the problem. You are all smiling and that. But when you recover, you're going to come back times more. And the most dangerous thing about it is it will leave your liver and your kidneys, your lungs in a doused mood. It will not leave you the same. It's going to mess up your system. It's going to mess up your health. So why go into it in the first place? Don't tell me I am drinking because I'm depressed. No, that's not the way out of it. That's not the way out of it. The way out of it is talk to the
right
change
people.
Your company, change your environment, associate wisely, work with the right persons. Because if you're in the company of the wise, in the company of the right people, you're going to find solace and do the right thing. Suicide will never be a thought pattern, will never be around you, will never be your portion if you're hanging around the right people. So you need people, the right association, the right connection for you to stay intact, especially in times where you're depressed. Watch your association, change your circle.
Change your circle, watch your association, put food in your stomach, borrow joy from your future, have hope in your future, and then you can borrow joy from that future and bring it into your present. Any other point?
Finally, get medical help.
That's the one that Nigerians don't like to do now. How can you tell them to go and get medical help?
And you see, the problem is this: the way we take care of our cars, if we can take care of our health that way, I'm assuring you that the life expectancy of Nigerians will increase. If you go on Google right now and check, the life expectancy of an average Nigerian as at 2021 is between 54 and 56 years old. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Can you just imagine that?
54 and 56.
As against 78 in the UK.
Wow.
And this is as a result of so many factors. So many, from the biological to the psychological to the social, a whole lot of factors. And the way out of it is keep a right company, have a good association, have the right people around you. There is nothing you're going through that is new. Absolutely nothing. I just heard a story this morning of a man who was devastated, highly depressed. He said he came back into the country and found out that his wife was submitting to an alpha and a pastor, and both the prophet, the prophet in quotes of the garment region, and the alpha, they were both taking advantage of his wife. Now this man tapped the call of his wife and got preview to the fact that his wife was servicing both of them, just to protect the man who was abroad, thinking they were doing a job for her, not knowing they were playing on her intelligence, taking money from her and using her. It's painful, but the way out of it is talk to the right people.
Talk to the right people. It could slip into depression when he finds out something like that. I get it. I get it.
Very, very true.
Thank you so much, Dr. Precious, for bringing it home for us on the Bumper Breakfast today. Don't forget the lessons he has shared. Eat something. Put food in your stomach. It's very important. Borrow joy from your future. Believe in that future so you can get joy to borrow. Do have a lovely day, Dr. Precious.
Thank you very much, Tommy C, and thank you, our beloved viewers. God bless you all.
That's it on the Bumper Breakfast for this morning. Thank you for joining us.